I'm going to show you how to do the very, very beginner tutorial in EVE Online. Now there's two lines of tutorials. There's this beginner tutorial, and then there are a series of career agents. What I'm going to show you first is the tutorial that you should do before the career agents. To get there, you can move your mouse to the top left to your agency. It's called the agency, and this is the icon on the menu here. Or you can press Alt-M to pull it up. From here, you are probably going to land on this page, and then you want to go to the tab on the top called Tutorial. This is the series of tutorials that are the basic introduction to the game. The other ones that I mentioned are the career agents. You can find those over here under Agents and Missions and Career Agents. These are the 5 agents that will teach you how to do different careers like combat or exploration or industry. I have a series on these, but what I'm going to focus on now is just doing this very beginner tutorial to get you started. This is kind of day one, what you should do when you first start EVE. So in the tutorial, once you're here, again through the agency to the tutorial, and then we have the first mission here. It says offered. Begin the investigation. Long-range scanners have confirmed the presence of seekers at a strange wreckage site. Clearing them so investigators can move in is your mission. Okay, we have to clear the bad guys, the seekers. Navigate to your target and destroy it. Rewards 10,000 ISK. Let's activate. Okay, we've activated it. Now Aura here is trying to help us. These little pop-ups are not normally in the game. These are special pop-ups just for the tutorial. Okay, so it wants us to undock. Okay, we'll follow it and click undock. This is going to kick us out of the station and push us into space. Okay, we're outside the station now, big station. Now, okay, info panel. The info panel provides details regarding your current objective. Click OK. Warp to location. You are now in space and you will need to travel to the mission location. When you are ready to begin your mission, warp to the mission site. Click warp to location in the tutorial info panel. Okay, that's right here. Let's click it. And now it's going to activate our warp drive. If you use your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out. And if you left click on space and drag around, you can rotate your ship and look around. Now we're currently in warp. We're going to the site where we need to do the mission. We need to kill. Warping commenced. Weapons hot, Captain. Now our weapons are over here. Here we have a miner, and this one here is a railgun. This is the one that blasts people. And if you look closely, it says optimal range within 5,000 meters, roughly. Okay. This site appears to have been recently attacked. We should look around in case the attackers are still present. Hold down the left mouse button and move your mouse around to rotate the camera. So we'll click in space and just rotate around and look around. There's going to be some seekers around here somewhere. Why don't I zoom out my camera? I'm going to mouse wheel out some more. There they are. I see them now. Now let's angle it properly and zoom in a little more. Okay, we can also look in the overview window over here. Find the seeker in your overview window. Right click it and select approach. Okay, so it's highlighting them blue for me. These are them right there, these 2 guys. Now it wants me to right click and approach. This is going to send my ship moving towards the guy that I selected to approach. Okay, so now that we've approached him, we're going to get up close to him, but we need to lock him. So let's take the same one, the one that we're right next to now. And let's right click and lock target. Now we have our target locked right here, and we can see its health. And we have it selected. So now we're ready to fire. Proceed to destroy both seekers. Now typically the procedure is something like this. Orbit, lock, and fire. So all I did was approach, so my ship is just going to try and get right next to it. But I can hit orbit, and my ship will try and maintain 5,000 meters in a circular pattern around the ship. So it's going to try and maintain my optimal range for my gun. If I want to change that, I can right click on orbit and hit set default orbit distance and set it to whatever I want. And now I can choose orbit or use the W shortcut, hold W and click on the person that I want to orbit. And then to lock, I can select them and click lock like this, or I can hold control and click on the target that I want to lock. Now I've got both of them locked, and if I want to shoot at one of them, I have to select them up here and make sure that I have the white triangles circling around it. What you have selected here, you can also select them here, and you can see that it'll change the white circles to the one that's locked. So now let's activate our gun. You can press F1 for this gun in this slot, or you can just click it to activate it. And it's going to repeatedly cycle over and over, and every time it does that, it's going to shoot. And if I move this out of the way, we can see that we're doing a little bit of damage, 6 damage, 7 damage, 8 damage, and their health is going down quite rapidly. They should be down in just a second. Great. Now let's target the other one, set it to orbit at 5,000 meters to keep our optimal range, and activate our guns. Alright, they're going to go down pretty quick too. Okay, now we can loot them. We can click on their target and say approach. This is the wreck that we're targeting now. This is the last of the seekers. There might be something valuable in their wrecks. We should take a look. Right click on one of the enemy wrecks in the overview and select open cargo. You can select it in the overview, or you can select it right here in space and say approach, right click, open cargo. Or you can click this button up here. This open cargo button is the same thing. Okay, it looks like we found some metal scraps. We can click and drag them into our ship cargo, or we can just click loot all and it'll move it into our cargo. Great. So let's close our cargo. There's the other wreck here. Let's go loot that wreck too. So I'm going to click it and then click approach. And then when we're within 2,500 meters, I can open it, and I'll click open cargo, and I will loot these metal scraps too. So we've got 6 metal scraps now. Open the tutorial in the agency and claim your reward. So that's up here in the top left, this icon. Click that. And then over here on the right, claim rewards. Okay, we just got our 10,000 ISK, and now we're on step 2 of the main tutorial. The objective, gain experience with using weapon range. With the new data we recovered, thanks to your efforts, we have pinpointed a mined-out rock formation as the location of a sleeper enclave. We want you to take out its perimeter defenses. Let's activate this mission. Okay, Concord has transferred an ISK reward into your account. Okay, let's check out our wallet by clicking this icon here. It looks like we were given some money for our mission reward. Very good. Mission coordinates received. Click warp to location. Okay, let's click warp to location on our info panel here. And this will...
warp drive active.
This will activate our ship to warp to that location. Once we're here, we can take care of the mission. If we need to pull it open again, we can go to the top left to the agency and see again what our mission here is. We need to go to the mined out rock formation and take out the sleepers. Okay, it looks like they've got some sentry towers. Let me zoom out. There we go. There's the towers. There's one there and there's one there. So let's click it. Let's orbit it at 5,000 to get our optimal range. And I'm going to turn on my afterburner so that we move faster. This is going to give us some more thrust and get us in position faster. Okay, so we're almost 5,000. Now I'm going to target and lock and shoot my guns on this sentry tower. Okay. Now we should be blasting it. We're doing a few damage at a time here. And we see its health going down. Shouldn't take too long to destroy it. Okay, alright, now we've got one more. Let's target this other one and approach it. And let's lock the target. Orbit. And turn on our gun. So when you tell it to orbit, this target is stationary, so your ship should be able to maintain your ideal orbit range pretty easily. Alright, we've just destroyed both of those sentry towers. Now it wants us to open the character sheet. So here it's going to teach us how to do some skill training. We've got all these different skills that we can choose from here. And the gunnery tab is going to improve things like your blaster tracking speed, your damage, your fall off range, how much capacitor it uses, and things like that. I would recommend the category gunnery and the skill surgical strike. So let's go to gunnery, and then let's look for surgical strike in here. Surgical strike. Knowledge of spaceship's structural weaknesses. 3% bonus per skill level to the damage of all weapon turrets. So that's going to give you straight damage across autocannons and railguns and lasers, all turret weapons, which is great. So that is a good skill to train up. So you can click and drag it down into your skill level, and you'll see as you start training higher levels of it, it's going to start taking longer and longer to train. So the first low levels are pretty easy to train, but let's hit start. Oh, I can't start it because I'm on an alpha clone that's got someone else training, so it's okay. Let's close that. Okay. I've done this. Drag the skill queue to start training. Now, it's not going to let me start because I have another character that's doing it, so I think I might need to pause and log out and turn off the other one for this to work, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I paused the skill queue on the other character that was training. Now I'm going to try to clear out these skills and then start it again. Okay. It looks like that moved it forward. Let me put it back in. Surgical strikes. Let's grab it and queue it up. Okay. So that moved the tutorial forward. Okay. Open the tutorial agency and claim our reward. Okay. And then go to the tutorial tab over here and claim reward. Alright, the next step, objective, use tactics of mobility and your weapons tracking. The accumulated data and our latest scanner results point to an attempt to build a new sleeper enclave network here in Empire Space. We have located an active preservation enclave scouted out for us. Activate. Okay, now it's in the same system, so it's just going to tell us to warp to location. We'll click that.
Warp drive active.
Okay, coming out of warp now. And here we go, landing on the site. Captain, this Sleeper Enclave is fully operational. We have to report this, but first we should take out any remaining enemies. Yes, here we go, click, and let's approach while turning on our afterburner to get there quickly. He's 20 kilometers away. We need to be within 5 kilometers for our gun to hit as good as it should. At fall off range of 7,300, that's where it'll hit about 50%. Okay, so let's, as we're getting closer, we're almost 10. As we get closer, I'm going to break into orbit and start shooting. We have to lock him first. Okay. Guns are going. It's going down pretty quickly. And done. Oh, there's another one that just popped up. A Seeker Eluder. Let's approach them too. It will be harder to hit with your weapons. Destroy the enemy's ship to secure the site. So because the enemy is smaller and faster, our guns are going to have a harder time tracking it. So there's a better chance that we actually miss when we shoot. And if you see, I'm too far away right now. I'm 13 kilometers. That's why I'm missing right now, is because we're too far away. But as we get closer, it'll start missing because the tracking can't keep up with the fast target. I need to break into orbit. I was just approaching. I approached for a little too long and I'm a little too close. It's going to bounce me back out. And then at about 5,000, it'll start an orbit pattern. Okay, destroyed. Both of them are destroyed. We can go approach the wreck and loot if we want to. Now I can go to my agency in the top left and claim my reward. Click the agency, go to tutorial, measuring the threat, claim rewards. Alright, there's our ISK reward, goes into our wallet. A rift in space. A spatial rift. Oh, there's the metal scraps from the loot. When you have multiple things like this, you can right click and do stack all. A spatial rift has been detected by our scanners. Investigate its origin and return back to us swiftly. Beware of gravitational anomalies and maintain your speed at all times. Objective: using your afterburner to increase your ship's speed. Rewards: 2 light electron blasters and 1,000 iron charge. Alright, that looks like it's going to be a big upgrade from our gun. So let's right click on the gun. Or, oh, maybe it won't let us. It won't let me select it, so that's okay. We'll check out the stats once we get it. Activate. Okay, now it wants us to warp to that location. Just click warp to location.
Warp drive
The ship
active.
will maneuver itself and warp there for you. In this case, it wants us to use our afterburner here. And so if you mouse over, it'll give you some stats, and it'll also show you the hotkey in the top right. In this case, it's Alt F1, which you can rebind by going up to your Neocom menu, Settings, and then the Shortcuts tab. This is where you can bind all the shortcuts in the game. Spatial rift detected, Captain. It's being created by a powerful gate of some kind. We should engage the enemy Seeker Captain. Use the overview to right-click the Seeker Pacekeeper, then select the approach command to get into engagement range. Shortcut Q left-click. So yeah, we can select them and we can click approach, or we can hold Q, which is the shortcut shown here, and click on them. Now we're going to approach. The enemy is traveling at high velocity, Captain. We should use our afterburner to catch up. Okay, so we can see on the overview their velocity is actually 300 something, which is about the speed we're going, and they're going just maybe slightly faster than us. So we'll never catch up going the same speeds like that. So let's click the afterburner, which is going to increase our maximum speed. And it's going to use up some of this capacitor every time it runs. And so now we're starting to gain on them. They're going 300, 300. We're going almost 500 now. Okay, so now we can lock and select the gun and start shooting. And I'm going to click orbit at 5,000 now and break off into an orbit pattern. Alright, the enemy is down. Now we can go approach, and open cargo. Okay, well done, Captain. Now it's time to upgrade your ship. You will need to dock at a station before you accept the next task. Locate a station in your overview, then right-click it and select dock. Okay, there's some metal scraps. Let's take them and stack them all up. Okay, it wants us to find the station. The station here is represented with this square icon. There's only one station in this whole system, so let's right-click and dock. We need to dock in order to open the fitting window so we can actually fit those new modules we got, the new blasters that we got from the reward. Okay, just coming out of warp and landing at the station.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, now we need to just follow the tutorial steps. Open the agency and claim our reward. Okay, agency, tutorial, claim reward. So we're going to get 2 guns and some ammo. Excellent. Next mission is offered. It's time to upgrade your ship's capabilities, combat capabilities. You have recently been awarded with new weapons. Let's fit them to your ship. Use the fitting window to equip new weapons. Activate. Alright. So first thing we need to do is open the fitting window on the left. Click fitting. You just received some new weapons. In order to fit them, first remove your old weapons. In the fitting window, right click on a turret and select unfit to remove it. Once you have 2 slots available, you'll be able to attach your 2 guns. Okay, so we'll right click, unfit, right click, unfit. Now we want to go look in our inventory over here and check out our item hanger. Here we can see our 2 new guns, and if we right click on the gun and say show info, we could actually look and see how much damage it does and its optimal range and everything, and we can compare it to the civilian module if you wanted to. So let's take the light electron blasters, and you can just drag it onto your ship here. Take the other one, drag it here, and you'll notice that it actually alters the look of your ship when they're equipped, and when they're activated versus turned off, they look a little different too. Okay, so these guns actually require ammo. So we're going to take the ammo charges, just click it, and we can drop it right onto the ship, and it'll automatically drop it into our guns here. Now we can take the extra ammo and drop it into our ship cargo by dropping it there, or we can drop it up here into the ship cargo. So now when we're out flying around, we'll have the ammo in our cargo, which we can load into the guns when we run low. These metal scraps I'll drop off in the item hanger. Upgrade done. Close the fitting window to continue. Okay, let's just close all the windows. Now we got 2 guns with ammo, and our ammo in our cargo to reload. We should continue with our investigation. Open the tutorial to claim your reward. Okay, agency. Claim rewards. More ISK. This is an alert situation. We have a report of an attack on the Sisters of Eve research station by Seekers. We think they've been searching for this station all along. Go there and remove the Seeker threat. Objective: apply everything you've learned to this combat mission. You can get 100,000 ISK. That's pretty substantial. Alright, activate. Now we've got our ship ready. Let's undock. And let's warp to the location and blast the bad guys. So once we undock, we'll click warp to location.
Warp drive active.
And it's going to aim us toward the spot. And once we reach 75% velocity, and I believe it's a 5% angle on the thing that we're facing, then we'll jump into the warp. Okay, coming out of warp now. Now we've got two weapons, and they both have ammo. And we can see here our optimal range is now 2,000. That's affected by the guns and the ammo being used. So let's select this, right click on the orbit, and set default orbit distance to 2,000. Okay. Then let's approach, turn on our afterburner, and we could also right click and say orbit at 2,500. But it's easier if you're going to always have the same distance just to set the default and target them there. If you select orbit at this range, it will mostly approach, but it'll approach at a soft angle. So orbit is just as good as approach when you're coming from far away. So let's lock these targets and select it. And now let's start shooting our guns. Now we have to activate both of them. Now we're doing a lot more damage than we were before, too. Alright, let's select the next one. Orbit at 2,000 meters. Now we can also stack our guns. So we can take these two guns. I can drag the first one on top of the second one, and now they're grouped together. You can see there's a little red 2 on the corner. That means there's two guns. So now, when I activate this one, it's actually going to shoot both of them at the exact same time. So you can control them all at once. Alright, we just blew up. Wait, there's one more now. A Seeker Eluder. Let's click, approach, lock. Afterburner's already on. Let's get in range. We need to be within 2,000 with a fall off of 3,600, so we need to be real close. And this person's traveling 200 meters a second. We're traveling 500. So we're going to catch up because we're traveling 300 meters a second faster than they are. In fact, I'm just going to double click in space right here and manually pilot in this direction just to try and cut them off and meet them a little faster. You can double click anywhere in space to set a direction you want to go. Okay, orbit, clicking orbit now. Turning on guns. Okay, I'm still missing a bit because I'm a little too far away. Now I'm starting to hit. Now I need to stay in range. Alright, now there's one more that popped up. Let me loot this one real quick. Let me click approach. We're right next to it, so we might as well loot it. You have to be within 2,500 to loot, so let's click. Okay, there. Metal scraps, got it. Now let's target this next guy, approach him, make sure we have our afterburner on. Now, in your cargo hold, with these metal scraps, you can reprocess them when you get back to the station. You can reprocess them and you'll get tritanium minerals out of them, which you can use to build ships and modules. It's not the only way to get tritanium, but there's something. They're just a little reward you get from certain drops. Okay, we're approaching. We're getting closer. Once we get about 3,000 meters, we can start. I'm going to hit approach. we can start shooting once we get close enough. Okay, I'll start shooting now, and we're within range to start hitting. Got it. Oh no, there's more. Look, there's 4 more, and these are destroyers. These guys are big and bad. You can click look at and go get a look at them. Let's see what they look like. They look like roaches. Okay, let's go destroy these guys. I'm already approaching with my afterburner going. Let's hold control, left click, lock, lock. Let's see how many we can lock at once. Looks like we can lock all 4. No, we can only do 3 based on our skill. So, okay, let's approach that one that's closest. And again, once we get within about 3,000, we can start blasting. If you need to reload your ammo, it'll reload automatically, but you can also right-click and say reload. And so, since we're flying anyway, it'll take a couple seconds. Now we have a full 200 in each gun. And we still have time to spare. Okay, turning on guns now. We have to be really close with these little blasters. But they do a lot of damage once you're there. Okay, let's approach this guy. Turn on our guns. Probably still a little too far. Still missing. We're too far. Too far. Yep, now we're starting to hit a little bit. Hitting harder. Yeah, now we're within optimal. We're hitting pretty hard. Okay, there's another guy. Let's orbit him. Start shooting. Let those cycle. Down. There's one left now. Click target, lock target, orbit, and I'm going to activate the guns. A little too far away to hit, so we're kind of wasting ammo, but now we're hitting good. There, now they're all dead. And we can loot that one real quick. Just metal scraps. Nope, we didn't loot it fast enough. We have to circle back around. Try and loot that one real quick. Nope, too far from that one too. You have to be within 2,500 to loot. I'm not going to bother looting them right now. Let's just complete this tutorial. Let's go to the agency and claim rewards. Excellent. Now we're on the last one. Many challenges await you. Leave the solar system and choose your own adventure. Objective. Aura will guide you out of the solar system and to new opportunities as you begin your journey in New Eden. Activate. It's time for you to spread your wings, Captain. There are many profitable career paths in New Eden. To help you get started, you should visit one of the career agents. Go to the Agents and Missions tab in the agency and select Career Agents. Okay, so in the agency here, we click on Agents and Missions, and then we want to do Career Agents. These career agents are special agents that you can only do one time, but they give you very good rewards. They'll all give you a ship at the end that works really well for the specific job, and you can only do them once, so it's worth doing them once and learning and getting the rewards after you do the main tutorial that we just did. Okay, so it looks like they're in our current system, so we just need to go to our overview, find the station, right click and hit dock, or we could click this dock button right here.
Warp drive active.
And once we're there, we can choose which agent we want to talk to. We can talk to the military ones for combat, industry for mining and building, exploration for scanning, and business career path for trading and industry related things. So it's up to you. I recommend you do all of them. It doesn't matter which ones you do in what order, but that's your last steps, and you don't even have to do them. You're ready to go play EVE now that you have some basics under your belt. So enjoy. Okay, so we didn't actually finish this. We have one last step. I just docked at the station, And now I need to open the agency and click on this one. What do I need to do here? To begin a conversation with an agent, double click their portrait in the station's agents on the right and find them in the agency tab and do start conversation. Okay, so you have a couple ways to do it. Now that we're actually at the station, we can see them here on the right in the station if we go to agents. We click on agents and then we can see here there's different agents. This one here is red because I've actually already done the missions for this agent in particular. You can also do other ones by clicking the start conversation button, right click start conversation, or from the agency, agents and missions, career agents, and then from here we can choose the one that we're interested in and hit start conversation. Alright, now when they give you the mission, there's going to be a conversation on the left. They'll give you some details, and on the right they will show you what the rewards are, and you can accept it. From here, you need to follow these missions. In this case, you need to take some cargo, which will be in your hangar, and drop it off at that location. So you would right-click set destination. Now I've got a whole series on the career agents, so if you want to see how to do those, go watch those videos. In the meantime, you can either ask in your chat channels for help, or go online, ask comments here in the video, whatever you need to do. That was the end of this beginner tutorial. So this tutorial in the agency you can only do once. It's worth doing once just to get familiar. Then you go to your agents, career agents, and then you'll find the one that you want to do. You should do all of them and go start a conversation, go dock at their station, start a conversation, and then they'll give you a mission that you can go complete, and they'll give you ships and things as a reward once you finish. So that's it for the tutorial. Go enjoy.